All right, so in today's video, I am going to walk you through our CLE Kindergarten 1 and Kindergarten 2. All right, so we're gonna start with Kindergarten Level 1 from CLE, and that Kindergarten Level 1 has 5 light units to go with it. Each light unit is supposed to be a week's worth of work. This is a Mezzanite curriculum, so I assume that in the Mezzanite community, maybe they homeschool 6 days a week because it's 6 lessons. So it takes us a little over a week to complete it because we only do school with him 5 days a week. So this is the teacher's guide. Inside of the teacher's guide, you will find the whole breakdown of all the lessons and like pretty much everything that you need to know. So if you're looking at the table of contents, it tells you within each light unit what each lesson is going to be focusing on. So for example, light unit 1, the first lesson is going to be talking about top and bottom. The second lesson is tracing. The third lesson is more tracing. Then we're introducing circles. Then we're talking about different, and then we're talking about big and little, and that pretty much covers the entire first unit. Now it breaks it down all the way through and all those things. So when I was looking at the table of contents and looking at the lessons, and now my 4-year-old who's been doing school since he was like 3, I'm like, top and bottom he knows circles, he knows different, like he knows all these things. So why would this be being taught in kindergarten? And so when you really do, like we finished the first light unit already, which I'll show you. When you really do one of these light units and look at how everything is broken down and how we practice mastery and how we practice certain skills that that are just kind of skipped over or not really hammered in because you're just moving on to the next lesson. It is just very different with this curriculum, with this kindergarten curriculum. So don't necessarily look at the work, but look at the curriculum within itself in entirety when deciding whether or not you would be interested in this light unit or in this curriculum. So to further explain the like how detailed everything is, when you look at how the lessons are broken down, each lesson is pretty much broken down by the workbook pages, followed by a social skill, and followed by a motor skill, followed by Bible and memory, and then followed by a story with reading comprehension questions. So that is how all the lessons are broken down. So each lesson takes us anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes to do. And we focus on doing things the right way or doing things the proper way. So for example, we focus on working from top, like my son can easily draw a line from here to there, but we focus on starting at the top of the page and then reading or working from left to right, just like he'll be reading one day from left to right and starting from the top and working our way down. We focus on doing it well, not quickly to get it done, but doing it well. We focus on talking about what we see. Like, where do bears live? They live in the den, and spiders on webs and different things like that. So we dive deep into discussions and different things like that. So it's not just, can your child count 1 through 10 or whatever. It's very much about taking the time to really hammer in these skills that are necessary before starting this formal kindergarten education. And so the first light unit that we did was very simple in nature. It wasn't anything too incredibly difficult for my son to comprehend, which made focusing on those skills even easier for him, focusing on how to introduce himself and different things like that, and learning our memory work and focusing on stories and different things like that. So it is just a very complete curriculum. There's not much that you need to add to it. It's not necessary. So transitioning over to the second light unit is just pretty much more of the same thing when it comes to how to break it down. This is your teacher's manual. So it tells you everything that you need to do, the things that you need to say from class preparation, remove the pictures, remove the verses on page 11 and stuff like that, because there are certain things that you remove ahead of time, because in the first book, at least, you created their own like little book on the side. So that is pretty much the teacher's manual portion of it. You also work on, how to properly set your book so that you can write and different things like that. Now, flipping through the light unit, like I said, my son has already completed the first light unit, so you'll see his work in here. One thing that I really want to work on him with, now that we have the time and now that, we're reviewing things that he pretty much already knows, is really coloring within the lines. He does pretty well, but just really hammering that in, and also working on our straight lines, so those different types of things. So it starts off super simple, nothing too overly complicated, working on circles and getting those circles nice and straight, working on cutting and gluing and different things like that. Just starts off very simple, just to make sure that we have this foundation solid. And then this is his book, a book about me. I haven't stapled it yet, but I'm planning on stapling it and putting it all together for him. So that's book 1. Book 2, we're about to start today. Or little light 2, we're about to start today, and gives them their own table of contents here. Focusing on colors and counting, where things belong, what belongs where. Very simple. So for me, it's the discussion aspect of it that really makes it gold. And also the, learning memory verses and stuff. I love that as well. And the stories are so good. They talk a lot about character traits and a lot about, what Jesus would do and different things like that. So like I said, each light unit is supposed to be a week, but there's 6 lessons and we only school 5 days a week. So sometimes 4 days a week. So it lasts us a little over a week. But if you homeschooled 6 days a week, it would be 5 weeks worth of work for kindergarten 1 and 5 weeks for kindergarten 2. So this is just letting you guys see the progression. This is the 3rd workbook. We're just working on more colors and more counting and coloring in the amount of dots that correlate with the things, talking about feelings. Lots and lots of coloring in this book. If it's a coloring day, like if my kid is into coloring, then I have him do all the coloring. If he's not into coloring that day, then we don't color as much. It just really depends on him and how he's doing. All right. This is light kindergarten light unit, or little light 4. Talking about rectangles, tracing the rectangles. And they also talk about different cultures as well, which I appreciate. Like they talk about Liberians, and different things like that. I don't know why I just had a hard time saying Liberians, but yep, here we go. And this is the last one from kindergarten 1. So I know my colors, so at this point, they should be able to identify which crayon goes with each color based off of the name that's on the crayon. Talking about chores, talking about halves, more of their Bible verse. They tend to abbreviate the Bible verse. I have my child memorize the full verse. Their memory is amazing, so they usually don't think it's too much or too overwhelming. Things we shouldn't touch. Okay, so kindergarten 2. This one is a little bit thicker than kindergarten 1. I assume you have more to learn and more to teach. Same breakdown in the sense that one unit, one little light is supposed to last a week. The only thing that I think is different about this one is that they do have projects that they do in kindergarten 2 and poetry. So bring in poetry. So this pretty much breaks it down for you. Everything that is bold, you say. What is not bold, you do not say. And it just breaks down every single sheet for you on how you, like it's very much like you open up this book and can teach it. Like you don't need to know any extra. You don't have to be a kindergarten teacher. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip through the light unit to show you what the teacher's guide is talking about. So the circles are smaller here, unlike the kindergarten 1. Now you begin actual writing practice. Starting with 1. Identifying where certain numbers go, that different drawing lines to different objects. Identifying the different letter D's and following the path to help the duck get to the pond. Practicing writing letter D in smaller sections. Number 2, so lots of handwriting practice. Letters. So you're also going to be going over the letter sound. So which one does the sun go with? Which one does the dog go with? The doll, different things like that. which I would say this is more to my son's level of where he's at right now. So here with light unit 2, or with little light, sorry, their math is called light units, so that's why I keep saying that. But with little light 2, they begin writing the actual letter underneath the sound. Same thing with the numbers. So it continues. So that's the other thing to keep in mind, that it does have math in it as well. So there's no need to add a math curriculum. It's a full kindergarten curriculum with math and language arts and reading and literature, because there's reading to the child as well, and writing. So it's a full curriculum. So now we are sounding out words. At, fat, dot, different things like that. So the child is going to read the words. And that is by light unit, or by little light 3. Now we're going up to 11. Number 12. So they should be able to read it, not rat. So 3-letter words. Pot, dig, mug. Okay. More reading. So you're gonna, what letter goes at the end, and they have to, identify the missing letter for the ending sound. Numbers more than 10, which I always think is important. A lot of the kindergarten curriculums only go up to 10, so we need numbers more than 10. Addition problems, so $1 plus $1 equals $2. More ending sounds, and this one they write out the full word. Poems. reading a full sentence, the, so that they learn the word the. Fat pig sat. So by like unit 4, they're reading full sentences, which is pretty amazing. Learning the vowels. So placing the word with the picture, more sentence reading. It's pretty amazing. Definitely will be overly ready for his PALS curriculum. Okay, so this is workbook 5. What is this? Oh, beginning letter or ending sounds. Sorry, they have to find the ending sound of the picture. Beginning to identify the tens with ones. So as you can see, it starts off very gentle in its approach with kindergarten 1, and then it really progresses to a full kindergarten curriculum by the time you reach kindergarten 2. It really progresses. Identifying uppercase and lowercase letters, and reading 3-letter words. Going up to number 20, and writing their numbers. Being able to count, starting with 15 all the way up to 32. I love the fact that they're teaching place values. It's the math person in me. Subtraction, so they'll cross off. So beginning subtraction, beginning addition, facts. Counting by tens. That is it. That is Christian Light Education Kindergarten 2 flip through, and let me see if I can find it. Kindergarten 1 flip through. I hope this was informative. If you have any questions, leave it for me in the comments, and until next time, bye.